as we'll see Tom Brady and the London Black Knights taking on Dak Prescott and the New York Jets.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the New York Jets and the London Black Knights. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a guy who is very familiar with his defense from all his years in the AFC East. He, of course, is the great Tom Brady. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
They do go for it. It's Brady. And quickly finding Rager. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. So the Jets now in great position here to start things out. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He finds his running back, Mixon. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Number 28.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. To throw is Prescott. And he finds his man Griffin. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tally that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC championship. It's a first down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott, he gets this in the hands of Mixon. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that when our corners see their job, it's simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
First down and 10.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 75 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at the big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mixon with it. The ball just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. Tally that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC championship. It's a first down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Caught left side, Williams. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
At the 3-yard line.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use...
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are going to reach on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
London about set to take over on offense. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
2nd and 4. At the 20.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. They're going to get a brief pause in the action for an injured player, and I believe, yes, that is J.K. Dobbins, the running back. He's down after that last play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We're all still valiantly searching for the so-called book, right, that tells us what to do in every situation. Everyone kind of knows what it says, but it's never really been written down anywhere.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. John Ross, 63 yards. And his guys have once again taken the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back, and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. And it's up and good. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
Jets 10.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That throw into the arms of Allen. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brings up
maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. Short pass caught by the tight end Griffin. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
And in the run-up to this championship game, so much was made about how would this offense hold up on the road in a hostile environment. Well, that's not the definitive answer, but what a great first answer from them. That big play right there.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Oh, it's dropped. He couldn't hang on. That would have been a big interception. Instead, they'll have a chance to get 3. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
On play action, now Brady. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42. 2nd quarter now, and it's London with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brady got his man complete over the middle. It's Norton. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC championship. It's a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at them.
They'll look to run with Dillon. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Now for the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
Kick is good.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was A.J. Dillon who capped it off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mixon. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Joe Mixon.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
34-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions. And here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield. He was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And it's caught by Parker. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
12 more yards there and another first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll drop this one down to Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Boswell's kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
The score, Black Knights 21.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
They'll take over. 1st down and 10.
Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
That's good for A. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On play action, it's Brady. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. John Ross, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Knights 28, Jets 16.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Returnable here for Davis. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Jets on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started in minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give? We got to do a screen pass. And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
14-yard line.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 16 yards, a first down. AFC title game, second quarter action, 2 minutes to play. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They give to Dillon out of the gun.
A.J. Dillon, the ball carrier.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Jalen Reagor, 44 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. 5 plays there on that drive.
Jets, 16.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Jets take over 1st and 10.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
On the pickup, brings up 2nd and 2.
Prescott from the gun, dumps it off to Mixon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a first down.
To Joe Mixon.
And his throw is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. They'll throw again. Prescott. He's got a man. It's Williams. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. To Mixon on the check down. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good. So we can. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll be be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
10 yards on the
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. This is Mixon on the draw, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
2 yards.
That catch good for only a couple. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
On first down, Callahan. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Number 43.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's a run with Akers on second down.
Cam
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
At the 35-yard line.
They'll run on first down. Akers. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
4 yards.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
At the 31-yard line.
Now a give right side. Callahan. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. 31 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they're really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
They have been dominant in this one. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Right there, 54, right there.
Prescott. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2nd catch of this AFC title game, and he's got a 1st down. On the delay, it's Mixon. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Short pass caught by the tight end Griffin. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Check, 59. We own it. We own it.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He's having a big game running the football, but that will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
They'll take over 1st and 10. At their own.
London about set to take over on offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Here's Akers. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
The ball carrier.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, here's Dillon. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
14-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
They'll try the left side. Callahan. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
He was brought down by Von Bell.
1 quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Dillon. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
3rd and goal.
They'll try and run. Dillon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A.J. Dillon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. Prescott on 1st down. Flushed out right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 1st downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It's a gain of 35.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. They were able to push him backwards on 1st down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. London about set to take over on offense. They are getting closer and closer to lifting that Lamar Hunt trophy. Not home just yet, but trying to polish things off here as they start 1st and 10. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving. It seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll throw with Brady. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. On third down, it's Jordan, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Brady not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it here on 4th.
Switch gears.
Brady to throw for it on 4th down.
Open man, it's Rager. He's got it.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find...
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And this offense is running away with this one.
He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Returnable here for Davis.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now their backs really against the wall now. They knew how tough this would be on the road, AFC title game, and they have gotten all they could handle and then some.
Throwing, Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
38-yard line.
Right there. 54, right there.
Now Prescott. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slam. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
A gain of 11.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Hey, watch that. Check line 54. Line 54. Let's go one more.
Prescott now from the 50.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Julian Okwara able to run it down for a loss of a yard.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Another try after the first down sack. Prescott. Short pass caught by the tight end Griffin. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's airing it out for Williams. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
Wait 20. Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go. It's coming. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
And they take a knee. And the AFC champion has been crowned onto the Super Bowl. There cannot be a better feeling than this.
It's almost indescribable. And when we talk to players from the past, a lot of them mention getting to the Super Bowl, winning a conference championship, even before they talk about the Super Bowl itself. All that hard work to get to your goal, incredible.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.